Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the Upperclassmen podcast.
Good morning, Buckeye Central.
Or afternoon. I kind of like that.
Whenever you're listening.
Yes, period.
Guys, this is the Upperclassmen podcast. The upperclassmen that aren't going to steal your lunch money may cut you in line, though.
Yeah.
Let's turn this into a,
What?
Turn it into a, It starts with an A.
Anyway.
An apostrophe?
What? Why?
No.
Apostrophe.
Apostrophe.
Oh.
You don't.
ASMR.
Oh, got you. I hope you guys really liked that. But
We're not whispering in the mic.
what is this, episode 7?
Episode, yeah, pretty close.
Say it,
Wait,
say
no.
Pretty close.
No. What is it?
Okay, whatever. This is like
What?
episode 7 or something. Last week, we
Yeah,
did...
this is episode 7.
Okay, period.
Period.
Guys, we're
Episode 7
We're 7 episodes strong.
with my
Welcome
girl, Katy Hagerty.
Oh, Blake, you're my boy.
Yeah, I'm actually not introducing you yet, so don't say anything.
Oh, okay.
So, Katie, actually, shut your mouth. But last week, it was with Lauren. We were talking about mental health, really sensitive subject. I think it went well.
I love Lauren so much.
After listening back to it, we definitely rambled a lot, but I think the message was
As
good.
you should.
And I personally thought it was really good. If you haven't listened to that, go ahead and listen to that on the YouTube channel at the same place you're listening to this on.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it, like, illegally.
Safari.
Yeah, I don't want you to illegally download our podcast and listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, El
Dr.
Chapo.
Dr. Martin.
Yeah. Illegally distributing our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week is part 2. We're going to talk about self-help and self-growth and stuff like that. We're not going to get into that yet. Wanted to do a little recap on TLC since this is the TLC Upperclassmen podcast.
What does TLC stand for?
Teen Leadership Core.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't think I knew that. Did you, Blake?
Yeah, you know what?
Got it!
Sure.
So last week, we didn't paint. We used sidewalk chalk on the sidewalks last week, and we got a little bit of publicity for it. A girl on Facebook, so Bailey Holmer, Blake's sister actually,
Yeah.
she wrote by a Jeep that she liked, and she said, "Hey, I like your Jeep," and literally something so simple. But the girl who owned, I think it was a girl who owned the Jeep. It might have been a man. It was a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Teacher. She's a teacher.
Yeah, she was a teacher at the school, and she saw it, and it literally made her day. She made a Facebook post about it, and it was so cool.
Her Jeep is rad.
Yeah, it is really rad. So, Blake, would you like to ask the viewers a question?
Yes, I would, and I know Mr. Wiles will love this question. Maybe. He might. Okay, so.
He's a history teacher.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you could go back to any year, past year, what year would you go back to? I know for me, I'd go back to 2012 easily, The world was ending. That's all right, It really didn't end, in case you didn't know that. But
2017, 2018.
and I was in third
Summer.
grade. I had Mrs. Caudle as a teacher in Seneca East. Seneca East.
Hey, other school pride, Blake.
Other school pride.
Yeah, we appreciate other schools in our district. Not district, in our...
self-image, Blake.
Yeah, we love all schools.
We love everybody.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we love you.
Dude,
We love you especially.
Okay. 3-sport. I was a 3-sport athlete.
In 2012?
Yes, I was. I played basketball for the YMCA. Played baseball for the school. I don't know if it counts, but I played flag football.
Okay, Rocky
Seneca
Balboa.
No, it counts. If Powder Puff football counts, this counts. And Powder Puff football counts.
Dude, I'm the OG of flag football. No one can beat me. Not even you, Miss Powder Puff.
Beg to differ, but...
That's your new nickname, Mrs. Powder Puff.
Let's actually not start that.
I'm actually going to start that.
Anyway, so my favorite year would be 2016 because, for one, I was in 8th grade. Wasn't even in high school yet, so, 8th grade had no homework whatsoever. It was awesome. I literally loved it. And the clown epidemic, where everyone dressed up as clowns and, chased people. And that was awesome. So, yeah, I would go back to 2016. Let us know what year you would go back to. All right, now, for what you guys have been waiting for, we have right here with us the queen of hustle, the one who makes everyone laugh smile in the hallway, the person who I was doing the do-si-do with in the halls today, spinning around in circles.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
so fun.
Katy Hagerty.
Yeah.
Oh, you forgot the last name.
Katy Quezada Hagerty.
There we go! It's nice to meet you
Yes.
guys. Talk to you guys.
Nice
I'm
to meet all you
sorry.
guys.
Yes, so good to meet you guys. Oh
Yeah,
my
so if you guys don't know
gosh.
Katie is just a shining light
Well,
in
Kylie,
everyone's life.
You know
and we
what?
all love her
I think
so
you're
much.
just kind of talking about yourself because
Oh, am I
I
talking about myself?
think our good spirits just go hand in hand.
Me
I
and
thi-
Katie
I
might
think
be
so.
soulmates.
No.
Dude, listen, I'm glad you said it. I've been waiting for it, man.
I've been waiting for this
I've
one.
been
Do
waiting
you
for
guys
it.
want me to leave? Because I can leave, you know.
Blake, listen. You can stay, man.
It's a love triangle.
Exactly.
It is?
Yeah, because Blake, didn't you tell me that like our astrology signs are like soulmates or something?
Yes.
Blake sent that to me.
Yes, our astrology signs are
What's
It-
yours, Blake?
I don't know. It just said that we're creative and that we get along well and that, I don't know, something like that.
That's why we have good podcast chemistry.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do all the work and Blake takes the credit.
Because you guys both have blue eyes.
Blue eyes.
If
Ooh.
me and Blake had children, they would 100% be gingers. Every single one of them. I can almost guarantee that.
It's not a bad thing. I mean,
We're not having children.
Gingers are pretty sexy.
Anyway. But yeah.
This is awkward.
I
now.
like gingerbread man.
Alright guys, so we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast, you know.
The
The
meat-
big
oh,
the big
the
meal.
big juicy freaking steak.
Meat and
right
potatoes,
there.
but you can't leave out the appetizers.
What's the
Katie's the
appetizers?
appetizer.
Oh, are you?
Dang, okay.
Right. Wait, never
I'll
mind.
eat you guys up.
Alright guys, so like I said, this podcast is gonna focus on self growth. And personally, these past 6 months, you know, like we were all in quarantine, corona, like not even just that, but just like a lot of my life has kind of been changing in the past 6 months. And it has literally been like the biggest growth like I've ever like had for myself. And honestly, I have a lot of improvement to do, but it like makes me so happy to like think about like where I was 6 months ago and where I am now. And it is just really cool. And I've had like a history of getting down on myself, you know. I mean, everyone does, you know, because like we talked in the last podcast, like everyone gets sad sometimes, and that's okay. But, you know, like I kind of been like struggling with like binge eating and like a lack of discipline and a lack of motivation, and it's been really hard. But like this last month, I really learned to like embrace those things and like learn like how to accept my flaws and like fix them. So I started journaling, and journaling was honestly a huge breakthrough for myself personally. Like I started journaling, my first entry January 7th, I remember it. And Katie, excuse you. It was okay, my first journal entry was January 7th, and I honestly think everyone can benefit from journaling because it's really just like a time for you to like unravel everything that's going on in your mind. And I really would recommend, like, if, like, you don't have to journal every day, but just a little bit. And, like, just that self-reflection that takes place when you're journaling, like, it's just really cool. And personally, I love going back and reading my old entries, like, learning where I was in my life. And I also use it as a to-do list, which is really cool.
So, like, you talk about journaling, but, like, for some of the viewers that don't know how to keep their thoughts in a journal, like, what's your tips to, you know, get them started a little bit?
Yeah, so literally this is what I did. I just went to Dollar General, bought a journal for, I think, $1, literally $1, and a pen. And you just start writing about your day, and, like, just the first things that come to mind. I carry my journal with me Wait, I do have it. I
I've
have
wrote
it with
in
me.
your journal before.
Blake has wrote in my journal.
She probably erased it.
No, I didn't. It's in pen. I can't erase it. Might have scribbled it out, though.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
But, yeah, so you just literally put down the date, write everything that comes to mind. When I started writing, I would write down my days. I would write down, like, my goals. I would write down, like, the things I wasn't happy with. Like, I would write down everything. If it was sad, if it was good, if it was about anything, I would write it down. And it just, like, is good to get it all out onto paper, like, personally for me. And yeah, and I really just began to search for what actually makes me happy in life. Like, for example, I deleted social media for a long time, and even now, I still have a lot of it deleted. And, like, sometimes I'll, like, download it back if I want to post something or other. My friends want me to see something, I don't know. I'll download it every once in a while. But I personally have found that I am so much happier, and, like, I feel so much more involved when I don't have social media on my phone, when I'm not constantly, like, waiting for people to Snapchat me, or I'm, like, not constantly waiting for a snapback, or, like, constantly in my empty time, I'm just, like, scrolling.
It just adds on extra pressure, like, oh my gosh, who's going to
So
Snapchat
what all
me?
apps did you end up deleting?
Well, I deleted Instagram, YouTube, Netflix. Some of it is because I just don't have self-control and I had to delete it to, like, be more productive.
Okay.
But, like, some of it, like, I deleted Snapchat for a really long time because I would look at my screen time and I'd have, like, an hour and a half on Snapchat a day. And
That
I'm like,
is
that's
true.
literally not okay. Like, that's not okay.
That is so cool that you had, like, the self-control to do that, though, and, like, you actually deleted it, because that's huge for a lot of people nowadays.
Yeah, and I think it is because
like, it's
even...
an addiction that a lot of people don't realize they have.
Yeah, and at first, like, I was so hesitant to delete it. And even my friends, my closest friends were like, don't do it. Like, don't do it. Like, you're going to be left out. Like, don't do it. And, like, obviously they weren't saying that because they wanted me to suffer or, like, whatever. But that's, like, that's just the stigma. Like, that's what they
reality,
think, that, like, you're going to be... And maybe during the summer, yeah, I would have been, like, left out and stuff. But, like, being in school, like, I don't feel left out at all because I see my friends every single day. I talk to them every day. And, like, all my closest friends have my phone number, so, like,
And I think
no big deal.
the huge thing about that, it definitely plays into, like, your self-image and what we're talking about today, because, you know, just social media is a huge, like, influence on everybody.
And even if you realize it
Huge.
or not, or,
Oh,
like, want to
yeah.
accept it, like, it does influence you. Even if
Everybody.
you don't.
Like, I was at
realize it.
school today, and I get in, like, I don't know how, but I have an hour and 49 minutes on social media today. Just, you know, and it's
crazy.
That's a long time to be on social media, especially because I've been busy all day, you know.
Yeah, and just think
And-
there's 24 hours in a day. You're sleeping 8 hours, hopefully. You're at school another 8 hours. So that's 16 hours. And so then you really have, like, 8 hours for, like, free time, I guess, which you're at play for how long? And, like, extracurriculars. And then the fact that you spent, like, 2 hours, like, just, like, on your phone, like, glued to your phone. And that's only the social media aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about, like, just, like, being on your phone looking at other messages or, like,
Right.
being on calendar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
you just have to understand that we literally only have so much time on this earth. Like, there's gonna be a point to where we just cease to exist. And, like, what will you have spent that time doing? Will it be just sitting there and consuming different people's, like, media and lives? Or are you gonna
It
be
could
the one
really
out there?
be a whole different topic, like social media and motivation. It takes away, but sometimes it can add to your life or it can take away, depending
No,
on...
it totally can. Yeah, I think there's totally pros and cons. Like, I love posting things and, like, trying to, I don't know, just, like, inspire, motivate people. And I also get inspired and motivated from other people's posts. But, like, there's also the negative where, like, I find myself comparing myself to other people, and I find myself spending way too much time on it.
And
Like,
you know,
it's just, you have to balance it.
I'll go on these YouTube, and, you know...
I'll go on these YouTube.
on these YouTube videos, and there will be, like, you know, there was this one video today that said, you know, how to get girls and stuff
Blake
like
opened
that.
it up right away.
And so, yeah, I did, I'm not gonna lie. So I opened it up,
Honestly,
and the
I
first
would
thing is,
too.
like, you know, you gotta change your style, you gotta get, you know, a different hairstyle and all that stuff, and it's
And
like,
that's bull crap,
that is
Blake.
bull crap.
And you got fed
Because
bull
if
crap.
if we're really all the same in this world, you know how boring life would be. You want everybody being different is what makes everybody so unique. Like,
Yeah, it's like what makes the world come together and have all these unique ideas being
It is,
thrown
yeah.
out there. And, like, it makes life interesting. And if everyone was the same, we'd all be like robots.
Really?
We'd be like, hi, Blake, I'm going to go home and eat pizza just like you do because we are the same people. Like, that's boring.
yeah, it is.
I
so
want to
boring.
learn what type of stuff Blake's eating, and it's not pizza.
yeah.
It's not pizza. What are you eating
know what?
tonight?
I eat Mexican, I eat
guys,
Chinese.
Have
I
you
eat-
ever tried a slice of American cheese on apple pie?
Okay, next
No.
thing, because
Let's
that
go. Okay.
just sounds gross.
Yep, Kyleigh, just go ahead.
Well, podcast listeners, let me know if you have. Please send in
There's
your
another
comments.
question. Have you ever tried cheese on apple pie?
Period. Yeah. Exactly.
Two
And no
questions,
one
man.
has.
I hope we don't overload them.
So far, I don't think anyone's ever answered a question.
Mr.
In the
Wiles.
comments, Mr. Wiles said he's the only
Yeah.
one. So if you're listening,
He's
So
our-
change that. It's episode 7. We're waiting for you guys.
He's
Yeah.
like our biggest fan. Thanks, Mr.
Period.
Wiles.
Mr. Wiles, if you're listening, I'm making a heart with my hands.
Yes,
We appreciate you.
absolutely.
So much.
All
Hey,
right.
and good job at the race today.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Did he beat you?
He beat Mr. Metzger.
Oh.
Beat him in a sprint.
Really?
Nice. So cross-country coach versus football coach.
Yep, Mr. Wiles is still at it. Don't let him fool you.
Wait, so
Yeah.
Mr. Wiles won?
Yeah, Mr. Wiles won.
How long was the race?
100 meters, but still.
No, that's pretty good.
Mr. Wiles went out there and he showed everybody up. He really defied the odds.
Yeah. So, Blake, are you going to be leaving us now?
I am going to be leaving you.
We love you, Blake.
Blake has play, so he's
love
going to
you
be
guys.
he's going to be excusing himself
Lord
from the
Horvath
podcast.
is out of the house right now.
That's your name in the play?
Yes, it is.
Lord Horvath?
Yes. I'm evil. I'm a wimpy evil guy. I
Alright.
don't know how to shoot a bow and arrow. See you guys later.
Bye, Blake. Alright, so now that Blake's gone. No. Okay, so now we're going to get into the 3 areas of health, you know? So we have emotional, we have mental, and we have physical. And I might have touched on this a little bit last podcast. We need to find a balance to the 3 areas of health to kind of, I don't want to say be completely happy, but I really think it will just make you more confident in yourself if you really have these 3 balanced areas. So for your emotional health, we were designed as people to be social, to talk to people. That is a part of our programming in our brain. And I know some things you get caught up and you may think that no one wants to talk to you or but that is not the case whatsoever.
I second that highly.
Yeah, you can literally start a random not saying you have to start a random conversation, but I guarantee you could start talking to someone and you may think that they want nothing to do with you, they don't want to talk to you at all, but I guarantee they will have something to talk about and they will literally talk back to you. I guarantee it. But it is important to talk to people. It's okay if you want to be alone sometimes, but you can't forget to check in with your buddies, play some games with them, have some fun. You need that type of social interaction to really be fulfilled in life. And excluding social media, it's okay to Snapchat your friends, but for real, for your health, you need to talk to people. Whether it be your parents, your closest friends, your teachers, don't just sit in silence.
It's in our nature to be social people. It's very huge.
Yeah, and some more than others. Obviously, some people are going to be more social than others. But you do need to find that social aspect in your life. And not only talking to people, but surrounding yourself with people that are going to bring you up and they are going to support you. You don't want to surround yourself with just negative people. Imagine you are an introvert. Okay, imagine this. You're an introvert, okay? And, well, it doesn't even matter if you're an introvert or not. But just imagine you like to spend time by yourself. And then when you do talk to people, you just find yourself being around these negative people and people who just have terrible mindsets, terrible habits. And so you go, you talk to them, and then you go back to being by yourself. And you go and you talk to them, and you go back to be by yourself. When you're by yourself, how do you think your mood is going to be reflected? It's going to reflect those people that you're around. So you need to surround yourself with positive people, positive thoughts, positive energy. And so then when you are by yourself, that's what you're left with. You're left with those positive thoughts, and it'll just bring you up.
And to add on to that, Kyleigh, I read somewhere, and I've just heard it from multiple sources, that the top 5 people you hang out with are the top 5 people you're going to kind of act like. It kind of goes into your personality, and that's who you are, which totally makes sense because those are the people you love and enjoy being around.
You would be lying if you think that you don't pick up the lingo of the people you hang out with. I know my besties that I spend the most time with, Maddie and Lauren. When Maddie starts saying some new terminology, literally give me 3 days and it's in my vocabulary.
Exactly. I 100% agree.
You have to surround yourself with people who are going to bring you up.
Jordan. I act like him now.
And so that was emotional health. Okay, now we're on to mental health. Now, we talked about mental health last week, and just some recaps that you're not crazy, and it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to ask for help and to reach out, and it doesn't make you weak, it makes you human, and we shouldn't need to suppress all those things because we're scared of being viewed as less than anyone else. For me, for my mental health, I journal and I just talk to my friends. I really get things out, and it doesn't mean I'm never sad, but it really does help. And to help your mental health, literally just do things that you like. When I say do things that you like, that doesn't mean just sit on your phone all day. And I really do mean that. And I know I hate on social media so much, and I mean, I'm a hypocrite because I use it all the time, but I'm just trying to give you guys the best advice that you shouldn't just be distracting yourself with social media. I mean, I know that's something you like, and it's something I like too, but really, like, just find a book that you like to read. Like, go out and just take a walk with your friends. Like, get in nature. Like, you need to learn to be comfortable with your own thoughts. And I know that for some people that's really scary. I know that there was a time in my life where I always wanted to be listening to music, watching a TV show, like, and being with someone, like, anything. I would just do everything to avoid just being completely alone with my thoughts. And you may be at that point in your life. But as you keep working and as you keep growing as a person, I have to stress that it is a priority to be comfortable with yourself and with your thoughts, because that's when you're the most, like, creative, productive, constructive. And it can just make you, if you're comfortable with your thoughts, it'll just make you such a happier human being. Like, when you just are able to talk to yourself and, like, bring yourself up. And yeah, that's my advice to you guys. Like, really try and learn to be comfortable with yourself. Maybe one day when you're driving to work, driving to school, just don't put on the radio. Just sit there and just, what does your mind think of? Like, what does it go to? And yeah, you may, like I said, you may not be in a spot where, like, this is helpful, where you can do this. But I do advise you guys, like, I really think you guys should try it out, because I think it'll be interesting. It's like when you can't fall asleep at night. And you're laying in bed, and you just think of the craziest ideas. Like, you think of, I remember the other night, like, I was laying in bed, and, you know, I couldn't sleep, so, you know, you're just, like, left alone with your thoughts. And I was thinking of so much stuff. Like, I was, like, thinking about inventions and, like, new projects that I want to work on. And all of a sudden, I couldn't just sleep because I wasn't tired. I couldn't sleep because I was so excited of all the new ideas that I thought of. So, yeah, try that, guys. Try that out. You know, mental health is obviously important. You need to have a healthy mental life, and just surround yourself with things that are going to make you happy. And then physical health. And this one is something that I think kind of gets, you know, pushed under the rug lately. But it is important to have good physical health. And this doesn't mean that you need to be, like, super ripped and skinny and have a six-pack, play 3 sports, and just be able to do 20 burpees in a row. That's not what I mean by having good physical health. But Physical.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out. Don't worry. Cut that out, Kyleigh. But physical health is important, and it shouldn't be ignored. Like, it's one of the 3 things, like, they say that, like, when you work out and when you, like, release endorphins into your brain, that, like, makes you happier and just, like, relieves stress. Like, that has actually been proven that working out relieves stress.
You sleep better. You think better, like, more highly of yourself. It just, like, even
it literally could be anything.
Right.
You could literally, like, be like, okay, I'm gonna walk a mile. And if you walk that mile, you're like, I feel pretty good about myself.
It's really crazy. Just anything you do, if you set a goal of, like, a workout you want to do that day and you just end up accomplishing it, you feel, like, so much more confident in yourself, not only physically, but it really helps you mentally. And I think it really just helps every aspect in your life.
Yeah, because
confidence, self-image, mentally.
To go on a little, like, side thing, but, like, keeping promises to yourself and being able to trust yourself is something that I've learned is such a huge thing. Like, this morning, so I have the biggest struggle with waking up when my alarm goes off.
Yeah.
I always hit snooze and I wait. Yeah, I always hit snooze and then I'm, like, rushing to get around, and I get upset because I was supposed to do yoga in the morning and now I can't do yoga, or I was supposed to make iced coffee in the morning and now I don't have time to make iced coffee, and that just makes me cranky because I can't have my coffie. Mm-hmm. But today, this morning, okay, my alarm goes off.
That's why we have McDonald's.
Yeah. I don't have a new McDonald's in New Washington, Katy.
That's why we have Mickey Mart. God bless.
But this morning, so I was in such a good mood this morning. I even told Katy, I was like, I am in such a good mood. I don't know if you remember that, but I'm pretty sure I told you that.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Okay. But I was just in such a good mood this morning, or even all day. I'm still in a good mood, and I just wasn't sure why. Then I was thinking about it. Because even when I woke up this morning, like, I was just in a good mood, and I'm, like, almost 99% sure it's because when my alarm went off this morning, I didn't roll back into bed and fall asleep for 20 more minutes. I literally got up when my alarm went off, when I wanted to get up, and it made me feel so accomplished. The littlest thing. I literally still was rushing around because I couldn't get my hair right. So I still spent like 30 minutes on my hair.
And that's weird how that happens. You get up earlier and you're so late.
Yeah. But it was just the fact that I told myself I was going to get up at 6:40 and I did it. And that just put me in such a good mood for the rest of the day. And you just, to be able to trust yourself, like to me, I always make promises to myself and I never keep them. And every single time I don't keep a promise, my self-confidence goes down and down and down. And it's just the little things. Like, you really need to work on trusting yourself. And every time you tell yourself that you're going to do something, do it. And I cannot stress that enough. Literally start doing that right now. Every time, don't put things off. Don't tell yourself you're going to do things if you know you're not going to do them. Say you want to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go run 3 miles. And you haven't ran in a year. But you've been telling yourself every single day for the past 3 months that you're going to run 3 miles. But you just never do it because every time you get there, you're just like, I don't know, like, I'm going to be so sore, like, I can't, I don't know. Don't make those kind of promises. Tell yourself this. I'm going to go on a run tomorrow. I'm going to go on a run. It doesn't say how long you're going to run. It doesn't say how hard you're going to run. It just, you're going to go on a run. And when you go on that run, you can feel how you're feeling, You're like, okay, maybe I can go for a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles. Maybe you'll go for 5. You probably won't if you haven't ran in a year, but who knows?
But I believe in you, and Kyleigh believes in you.
But it's just the matter that you told yourself you were going to go on a run, and you did it. And you were going to feel so accomplished. So if you don't make goals to yourself that you think that you can't accomplish, obviously you want to push yourself, but be realistic, because when you hit those goals, you feel really good, and when you don't, it kind of brings your confidence down. So push yourself, but don't push yourself. Push yourself, but be realistic is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, definitely prioritize. Your mind and your body needs it.
Yeah.
For sure, because you only have one life, and if you're making promises to yourself and not fulfilling them, it's gonna bring you down, because like, what type of life is that? You definitely need to respect yourself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are too caught up in like worrying about everybody else, which is not a bad thing. I love people. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody around me. But even myself, I have realized that I get too caught up in other people and trying to make other people happy that I forget to make myself happy. And that can take a huge toll on yourself and your happiness in general.
Yeah, like self-discipline, these are words from Will Smith. Love that man. Love his motivational talks on YouTube. Literally listen to him all the time. Self-discipline is self-love. Mm-hmm. Like, if you love yourself, you are going to discipline yourself. Like, if you want to get a good grade on that test, you got to sit there and think, do I go and party? If I'm going to go party, yeah, it'll be fun. And if I go to that party, yeah, it'll be fun. I'll have the best time. But how am I going to feel when I fail that test? If I stay home and I study for it, how am I going to feel when I pass that test?
That is so true.
Because self-discipline is self-love. Those are words from Will Smith. Great guy. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
He's a great guy. So back to physical health. All right. So I cannot stress this enough, and I think it's such a big deal, but starving yourself does not make up for a lack of exercise. I feel like so often, okay, obviously everyone cares about self-image. Everyone. Like, you can't deny it that if you don't care about your self-image, okay? Everyone wants to look a certain way. And that's okay if you're not where you want to be, but you can work and you can get there, but that's not what I'm getting at. So, a lot of the time, I see that people are like, okay, I want to look this way, so I'm going to starve myself to get there. And you guys need to understand that that is not the way to go about it. If you want to look a certain way, you need to have that physical, mental, social aspect to your life. You need to go out, and you can literally just, like, go on a walk. Like, you do not need to starve yourself to look the way you want to look. Literally just get some exercise and eat, like, good food for yourself, and, like, you will get there. And it may be slowly, and you may have to work on, okay, these foods make me feel this kind of way, and, like, makes it, I don't know, if I ate this for this week, it did this to my body, and if I ate this for a week, it did this to my body. But starving yourself does not make up for a lack of exercise. Like, you need to get out there and you need to exercise, and then your body's going to tell you that it's hungry, and you don't ignore your body. You eat when you are hungry. Your body is not designed to skip food, like to skip eating when it is telling you that it's hungry. It is telling you that because it wants energy to be able to get to do all of your daily tasks for the day. And when it's hungry, you need to feed it. And I know sometimes exercise just seems like the biggest task. Like, I know it literally does. But I'm not telling you that you need to go and run 5 miles. Literally, just go on a walk. Jump rope. Ask a friend if they want to play some, I don't know, basketball. Like, just find something that makes you happy and then commit to doing it. And you don't have to do it every day, which, you know, you should try every day to, you know, get in some exercise, get in some walking, get in whatever. But you don't have to. Getting a decent workout in 2-3 times a week is enough to, like, get you there. And for me, you know, this summer quarantine, you know, I tore my ACL, so I, like, wasn't really in a sport and stuff. And I was like, okay, what can I do? And this was, like, kind of after I already, like, passed, like, recovery. So I was recovered. But I still just, like, because of all that time I spent just laying around after my surgery, like, I just didn't really have the motivation to work out. And that's not good. Like, you know, your body needs its energy released. Like, it wants to move. I promise you, your body wants to move. And for me, you know, I tried yoga. And I really tried to do yoga, like, every morning. I tried to do yoga every morning. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I do yoga every morning, but I try to do yoga every morning.
And that's what counts.
And I've been really, like, focused on my upper body strength. Like, I really been, like, doing push-ups, been trying to do pull-ups. And I honestly have been seeing progress. Like, I've never been able to do, like, I've been able to do, like, normal pull-ups with, like, your hands facing, I don't know how to explain it. But I was trying to do, like, pegged push-ups where, like, there's 2 pegs and you just have, like, your hands pegged on the wall, like, holding those little bars and just lifting yourself up that way. And I've never been able to do a pull-up like that. But you know what? Last week I did one.
Exactly, and I bet that feels so good.
Yeah,
to
and
you.
it does feel good. And I'm not saying you have to go to that extent, but you guys just need to realize that you need to make that little progress and little commitment to just doing a little workout, like, every couple of days. And I promise you, your body will appreciate you so much.
And basically, just to add on to that, so, like, with eating problems, it definitely, your body needs to be nourished, because whenever you don't eat, your body goes into survival mode and basically starts to store food, which will, like, blow you faster and easier, and it's so not good. But like, if you don't have the motivation to go work out, and it's hard. It is so hard to work out sometimes. I totally
Literally
agree.
find a buddy, because I found that you work out, like, you are so much more, like, apt to work out if you, like, text someone and you're like, hey, let's go on a walk at this time. You will literally do it.
That is so very
true.
true.
So if you can't find that motivation, find someone to give you that motivation.
I definitely agree with that one for sure, because anything with a buddy helps. But on top of that, I know, okay, so my freshman year of track, I was getting, like, last place in every single event, and it really killed my confidence because I, like, prided myself in my running. Well, anyway, so my hard-headed self decided that, like, that wasn't going to happen anymore, and over the summer, it was my freshman going on to sophomore summer, I tried this diet, and I ended up losing 25 pounds in 2 months because, like, I really stuck to this diet. And it wasn't super hard. I just, you know, left my money at home and stayed away from pop, only drank water, ate a lot of, like, protein, eggs, tuna, etc., no candy at all. And even, like, if you don't want to work out, just changing your diet, as hard as it may be, having that self-discipline is huge, but you feel so accomplished afterwards, because then you start seeing results and you're like, wow, like I really did this. Not only are you physically, you know, feeling better about yourself, but mentally you're really proud of yourself because you stuck to something and you achieved it. And then soon after that, it does make you want to be more physical and start to train. But just know that either way, you don't have to look a certain way to, you know, be happy, because it's all about conquering your mind. Conquer your mind and tell yourself, you know, you are amazing the way you are, because
and you're good enough.
Yeah, everybody in their own way is amazing. Seriously, that's what makes this world so great. We all come together and support each other. And if you ever need somebody to confide in, there's plenty of buddies around. People are willing to listen, and people are so willing to help. You just gotta reach out.
Yeah, I think that's really important, that to learn to love yourself for who you are, because I think it's really important, especially, like, for being in, like, high school and everyone's dating everyone and, like, relationships are just, like, seem, like, super important in high school. But you really need to learn to love yourself before you let someone else love you. And I think that's super important, because if you get your self-confidence based off of how other people look at you, then that you don't have confidence. That's not self-confidence. You need to be able to acknowledge your flaws and realize which ones, like, are with you forever, which ones you can work on, and you need to love them. Like, yes, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay, my teeth, they are not very white, alright? And listen, that's my own fault, like, whatever. Maybe I didn't brush my teeth enough when I was little. It's not overwhelmingly bad. Like, I don't want you to picture me with, like, SpongeBob teeth, I guess. But that's just something about me. Like, I just don't like my teeth, okay? The shape's kind of weird, like, whatever. And I know that that's something, okay, yes, I could get, like, teeth whitener, I guess, but, like, and maybe I will one day. But anyway, that is something that I, like, acknowledge that, like, hey, I don't really like this about myself. But right now, there's not really anything I can do to change it, and I don't know if I want to, you know, use teeth whitener and, like, ruin the enamel of my teeth to change that. But it's just something that I have to realize that makes me, me. And that is so, it's, like, sounds so silly to say that, like, yeah, my yellow teeth make me, me. But, like, really, like, I just have to acknowledge that, like, when I look in the mirror, yeah, that's how I am. And, like, whether it's because of this or because of that, like, that's who I am. And I have to learn to love that and love every part of myself. And realize that, yeah, there are stuff that I can work on. So, yeah, like, being more fit for, like, the basketball team. Like, I can admit, I am not in the best shape of my life right now. And that's a flaw. But I can pick that apart and realize that that is something that I can work on. And even though I am not as fit as I was, and I'm not as fit as where I want to be, and that's a flaw, but I can work on that. And, yeah, what do you have to say?
I would definitely say with self-image, you know, the biggest thing with it is, okay, so I see a lot nowadays, and I'm not even, like, okay, I do this even. I think everybody does. You compare yourself, and it's a really tough thing to break through because social media really does blow everything up. We had a speaker come in, I think it was this year, or last year it was, and she proved a point that our generation has the most pressure on it than any generation before. And that makes a lot of sense because social media, we're basically, you know, like advertising ourselves from the day we get it up until, you know, till forever, really, because it's on the internet. But, you know, we see things and we compare ourselves, but just know you don't have to look a certain way to be happy. The huge thing about confidence is, I notice a lot, is all in your head, because really people aren't going to look at you and be like, if they don't look like this, I'm not going to be friends with you. That's not how it works. People, like, as you get older, people really care about your personality, your attitude,
In your heart.
Your what's the word, genuine, there's a better for it, your genuine self. It's definitely not about looks as you get older. It is so much like who you are. If you're a good person at the heart, people are going to want to be surrounded by you all the time.
If you're nice to people, if you bring people up, like, no matter what you look like, people are going to want to, like, be around you and be your friend.
And that is just how it is. Like, that is just what it is.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell me otherwise, because I know I don't hang out with people because of their looks. I love people for who they are.
See, Katy is my friend, even though I have yellow teeth.
Kyleigh, and you know what? You're my friend, even though I don't like my lips, and I wear big eyelashes that blow a gust of wind every time I blink, and you're still my friend, even though I paint on my eyebrows.
Me and Katy are soulmates.
Yes, we're literally soulmates, you guys, and we're proving a point right now. We love each other.
Despite all of our flaws, I don't look at Katy and be like, oh my gosh, I can't talk to her today. Her eyelashes are just too overwhelming. I just can't. Like, I don't think I can talk to her today. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a time like that in my life.
And for, like, the things that you can't change, the flaws you can't change, like, it's not going to be easy to love them, to learn to love them. Like, I know it took me so long to, like, love my smile. It's literally not going to be easy because social media, like,
Portrays everybody as perfect.
Yeah, social media makes us think that everyone is just seamlessly so flawless.
In every way possible. But you gotta realize there are so many edits and so many, like there's
photo editors, yeah.
And literally everything in every single way, not to mention all of the, like, normalization of plastic surgery, which is necessarily isn't, like, a bad thing, but it's there, and that is just, it's not real. So, like, just because you're not made a certain way doesn't mean, like, everybody else is made that way, too.
Yeah. Because it's what makes us stand out. Our different flaws, my yellow teeth, Katy's eyelashes.
I do not notice your yellow teeth ever, Kyleigh.
Listen, I'm just saying. See, exactly. Like, I used to be self-conscious about my teeth. I mean, I still am, like, a little bit, obviously. But, like, I'm confident in myself. But, like, Katy's like, I didn't even notice.
Kyleigh,
it's
you're, like,
just
the most confident person I have ever met. And you portray yourself in such a good way. I cherish you, and I look up to you in so many ways.
Katy. I literally look up to you because you are always just in a good mood every day. And I know sometimes it's, like, not real. Like, not saying that you're a faker. But, like, every day, not everyone's in a good mood every day. But you just make it to where every day you are going to let people know that you were there for them and that you are someone and you acknowledge them.
And the same goes for you, Kyleigh.
No, and that literally, like, I don't know how many times I've seen you, like, walk down the hall and, like, just say hi to, like, the randomest person and, like, just, like, see them, like, it just, like, makes their day. And I'm like, that is something so simple to where that person wouldn't expect, like, I don't know, this person who doesn't even know him, Katy Hagerty, doesn't even know the people, but she just says hi anyway. And it makes that person feel so, like, loved and, like, cherished. And I honestly, like, love that. And I look up to that so much.
I think we need to normalize screaming hi to each other in the hallways because I enjoy highs too.
Guys, Katy's just letting everyone know that when you don't say hi to her in the hallway, she goes home and she cries.
I remember that, you guys. So don't be afraid to tell me hi.
Yeah, say hi to anyone in the hallway. It's important. But yeah, we're all different. We're all born different. And our differences makes this world so awesome. It makes it not boring. And so you need to embrace them and learn to love yourself.
True. I agree 100%.
And that's all I had today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys so much. Just know you are so worth it. You have purpose. Everybody has a purpose in this world. Don't be afraid to reach out. That was one of the biggest things I realized this year. And another huge thing, just to top off this podcast, is that it is 1,000% okay to fail. If you're not failing, you're not growing. We really need to normalize failing is so human. Failing, you should fail all the time because...
If you're not failing, you're not getting better.
Yeah, because not only about, like, falling down, it's about getting up because you're going to learn how to be stronger. You're going to learn from that experience. And I mean that wholeheartedly in every way possible. You're going to be an amazing person by failing. I mean, Thomas Edison, I think he tried, like, over 1,000 times to invent the light bulb, but it was like that 1,001st time that he tried is what like made light come to life. And if he wouldn't have tried that very last time, or if he wouldn't have had all those failed experiments, we would have never had light. I mean, I'm sure we would have, but look how far we've come today is what I'm saying. You need to fail in order to become better.
Exactly. And that is such a beautiful message, and I couldn't agree more. Like, listen, I failed my lifeguarding test and I cried so much. Like, I cried so much. But you know what? It taught me that I need to practice for
And
things.
don't give up if you fail. Do not give up if you fail. You just gotta tell yourself, listen, I want it even more. And you gotta go get it.
You gotta push yourself,
you
baby.
You do. And we believe in you, and there are people out there who are rooting for you.
Exactly.
Just know that.
Kyleigh K, Katy Hagerty, we in this.
But we out.